What is going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Final Fantasy. I'm gonna go give Otto the good news.
Was wondering when you turn up. Had ours from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention.
Least we could do, really.
You always manage to arrive at just the right moment.
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the color of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Taya says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
That promises to be a very enlightening conversation. We have a lot to catch up with Joshua on. We haven't actually had a one-to-one conversation with him since Phoenix Gate.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
We went through something similar with Joshua.
I reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, it was not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me.
Probably more that he wants it free.
I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an Eikon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind.
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find the means to bring an end to him, before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
That doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Wouldn't you do the same, Clive?
Joshua. Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, we know where we're going next. Makes the compass very easy to point.
Well, what's the short of it?
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here.
And Canberra is where our flagship is getting assembled
Should
too.
provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence.
We might get the
Tabor is
Enterprise.
exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Yeah, I'm sure he listens to you as much as
Tyre
I
not
would.
Such a talented healer. I would surely have been inclined to agree. But thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I actually think proximity to us will make his ultimate situation much worse. Like giving a starving animal a food bowl just out of reach. I'm sure he's gonna be chomping at the bit to get a taste. We have more hunts. We do indeed. We have the Pack. A team of Cursebreakers traveling through Tabor to the fields of Carava were met by a group of hunters from the village, who warned them not to stray too far from the main road, for in a gully not far hence rested a pack of wolves that even such practiced hunters as they would not dare to wake. Despite the fine luster of the animals' pelts, too many of their friends had succumbed to temptation, only to be torn limb from limb. And that is the fields of Carava through Tabor. So we're probably heading somewhere near there. Before we jump on that, I'm seeing a lot of side quests, so you all know the drill. We're gonna be picking these up before we head on out. See what we can do for these people. And just for a quick reminder, it's been a couple days since I played. What do I have and where do I have it? Yeah, give me access to my menu. The Will of the Wicks, Giga Flare, that's my big damage. Gouge and Impulse, that's my staggers. Satellite and Upheaval is my main combat mechanics. Okay. Now we won't be able to fast travel to wherever we need to go, assuming we need to go elsewhere for these, but we can pick them up and then get to them once we're allowed. Grab them before we head out.
Will there be...
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid's scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Likely.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me.
Children are
If they
children.
have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them, as always.
I'm actually very tired tonight, so excuse me if the commentary is a little lacking or few and far between, but I didn't want to take too long before I started jumping back into this. I didn't want to kind of lose my place. Most of my free time that I've had has been spent playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I had a really long day today, so a little sleepy.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tires?
Pick up the letter first before we go to the rest. What do we have? How fares the rest? The Guardians are getting along with the Axes fine enough, working to shore up the rest's walls when not cleaning out what few threats remain down in the reeds. Though chances are we'd still be neck deep in Akashic had you not given that horde your firm but gentle nudge. I know you've a realm to save and all, but if you're ever in need of a quick reviver, come see us and we'll tap you a cask. Martha. The flames burn bright. You have an uncanny talent of showing up where you're most needed, my lord. Without your steel, I fear the rest would be in the hands of the Akashic, and us but more of their nameless numbers. However, with the horde now both thinned and fractured, we Guardians can focus our efforts on putting down the smaller packs without the worry of being overwhelmed, while Martha's blood axes can return to defending the Tor. As for young Oscar, you will forgive my sudden request for taking him under your wing. He is a good man, attentive, polite, hard-working. So as you can see, he already has learned everything he can from me. He would do well to continue his squiring under a more worthy shield, and the realm has none more worthy than you, Wade. Word from Northreach. Clive, you have the town's thanks for helping rid us of the thralls, but we are neither of us so naive to think we have seen the end of their like. Good Philippe has taken to seeing that we are prepared should the ghouls come once again calling, but I often worry the rank of captain has begun to weigh heavily upon his shoulders. Just, as I imagine, the same might be said of you and your burdens. But remember, should the weight ever become too much, you needn't stand alone. Our hearts and arms remain ever open, as do the Vale's doors. Isabel. Dramatis Personae. The Guard and League have put aside their differences for the time being, allowing us all leave to sip our snake pit in relative leisure. For that, I would hazard, we have your better half to thank. She put on quite a performance. As for yours, well, from one aspiring thespian to another, might I suggest working on your delivery? And your projection, and those stiff limbs of yours, and your countenance, and, well, everything else. We wouldn't want to do the name Underhill a disservice now, would we? Lubor. A humble request. Master Clive, I apologize for this sudden and untoward gesture. Circumstances have forced me to seek immediate aid, and there is none other to whom I may turn. Your most esteemed Lord Uncle has presented me with a task most vexing, and I fear I am wholly unable to perform to his valued expectations, namely due to a marked lack of martial aptitude on my part. To wit, I am but a manservant, not a mercenary. While I maintain the fitness ample to attend the needs of a manor, to the attending of bandits and back alleys, I am sorely ill-equipped. If it please you, my lord, prithee come and see me at Martha's Rest, where I shall proceed to explain my predicament in full. Bastian Rutherford.
Rutherford? Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
Well, we won't be able to do that anytime soon, but we'll definitely pull it. I think that was it for the letters. And we got business to take care of here in the Hideaway. First things first, though. Gotta go steal some urchin toys. I don't see why the scales are very pressing. I mean, Mid ain't here anymore. She bailed. But I suppose it's more the principle of the matter, right? Gotta teach the kids that it's not good to lie or steal. Or lie about stealing. They hit the double whammy. Just because it's the apocalypse doesn't mean they get away with it. Even when the sky does look like that.
What do you reckon we should do?
Did they break it? Is that why they're hiding it? They broke it.
Sid!
Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh!
And just how long hasn't it been one?
Since it went missing, I suspect.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
I did that all the time as a kid.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we?
When I was a kid, my parents used to have to take things from me because I would always break them and take them apart to figure out how they worked.
All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Mididol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces, the body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold and carry.
So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
He's
Good
onto
thinking.
something.
You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh Goots? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Definitely not.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Mididol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them
She
in
has a
all
dungeon.
her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
I think you mean
That's
her
right.
workshop.
They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
It's not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
You know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult.
Reverse engineering.
So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
I didn't expect a mini
Obviously, we
engineering
need to start
class.
with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. Ah, all finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Middledor's hares.
As.
Yeah, hares for the future. She's showing us her secrets now.
There'll be
so
an
we can
E,
help out
Nane.
the Hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Middledol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
Time to figure that one out for yourselves. It was your idea, after all, to put it where everything went and then wait to see what didn't move. Put the cogwheel on that. The rest is all up to you guys. I believe in you. Jump on back over to Shirley.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Would?
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see.
If she hadn't run away, she could take care of these lessons herself.
Do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the Hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
As should we be. They are the future. Well, as I say, I literally used to do that same thing as a kid. I'm not sure how common that is. If anybody watching this used to do that as a kid too, let me know. But I used to dismantle everything. There was a time I almost electrocuted myself because my parents caught me dismantling one of the electric sockets on the wall. Because I wanted to see how it gave everything power.
Seems the Hideaway
It was a very inquisitive young mind.
We're baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing.
It actually...
Never give your
I mean, I'm
tongue
sure
a
she's
lashing,
not
though,
selling
would
to
she?
bandits, but if this was real life, it wouldn't even surprise me if she was. You gotta make money somehow, right? And when she's selling things that she can't sell to legitimate customers because of where we are and what we are, of course she'd sell to anybody else. We have a surplus of blades, crystals, potions, and she's gotta peddle it all somewhere. It's not like she can peddle it to the Empire.
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Thanks, Clive.
Coin is coin, especially if it's
You'll let
helping
me
our
know what she
cause.
says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
She's a merchant, not a philosopher, right? It's her job to make money for the Hideaway, not discern who she's selling to. As long as she's not selling to Hugo Kupka after what he did, I don't see the problem. Bandits are gonna get their swords somewhere.
Lady Karen, how's business?
Not
Very subtle.
nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade then? Both in and out of the Hideaway?
Even more subtle.
Can't complain. Wait, what exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care, but here you are today raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto?
Just asking. Out of interest. All right. I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating about you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
I didn't exactly hear firsthand. All I know is that someone in Dalamil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No, it was. Now, I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day.
I mean, to be honest, from a certain perspective, she still is ignoring the ways of the world to line her pockets, right? Like, look at the sky. Look at all the things we've done with the Mother Crystals. From a lot of people's perspectives who like the Mother Crystals, she's still doing that. Opinions vary. It's not like she's selling nukes to terrorists. The bandits are going to have swords regardless. The money that they spend on those may as well go to a good cause instead of feeding other bad causes, right? It makes sense to me, at least. I wouldn't hold it against her if she was selling steel to bandits.
I spoke with Lady Karen.
Especially when we can't have legitimate quote-unquote customers.
That the rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth.
Clive, you can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for?
Where's the other guy that made the terrible scorpion
I'm
soup?
all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword.
I don't think he died.
Remember Ivan's stew, right?
The Hideaway hasn't been
Well,
attacked since he made
despite the
that
look of the
disgusting
thing
stew.
and that awful stench, people wolf it down.
Oh, is that in the other
So I thought
Hideaway?
I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
I thought that was this
As
Hideaway.
straightforward as you'd hoped.
Because I killed those scorpions by Martha's
Yeah, but
rest,
this is
right?
my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favorites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm.
That
That's one heck of a
sounds
name, innit?
equally as hideous.
Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Yvonne said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Well, that's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates.
Just to hop and a skip behind us, actually.
Something. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Getting involved in a little Gordon Ramsay pissing match. Who can make the most disgusting meal? I wouldn't have tried the scorpion tail stew either, but skyworm sounds even worse.
Lawsman Harpocrates, I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Yvonne.
Ah, Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a
You can
wonderful
taste test
job
the
with the
skyworm
chances
stew then.
I do hope.
Skyworms on my to-eat list. Of course, we'll take care of all that next episode. For the remainder of this one, since we can't fast travel anywhere until we go where the main quest is taking us, I suppose we'll head on here and see what the opening of the Krozjit Echoes has in store for us. So this is in central Dalmekia, a wind-blasted sprawl of bottomless ravines, latticed with the colossal flotsam of a people fallen. Good boy. A doggo with many humans. Cloak and dagger.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canva was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
Small pleasures, Clive. Doesn't all have to be so doom and gloom. Right. Annie's cleft. We've been there before. Trying to figure out where the place with the Eikons was. I don't think it was called any of those. Well, I'll look for that on the next episode too. We may as well take care of that while we're in the process of doing all this. You just fast travel and hop and skip right back here whenever and get cracking with that. So this is going to be a wrap for this episode, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, as always, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon with more Final Fantasy. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Pet your pets.